Hey everybody, it's been a little while. Winter has not been very cooperative to me as far as the cold, and then we've had a lot of rain, and then we had 8 inches of snow, which you'd never know it. We had 8 inches of snow Sunday morning, and it's almost all gone now. So, I haven't sold many snowblowers. I sold a couple. I still have a Gilson and a Simplicity here, along with a couple others. So what do you do when you're not making any money? You go out and spend money. So, I picked this Cub Cadet up for $1.50, and it's a 2160 AGS, they call it, which is automatic gear system. It's kind of like a hydro, but I don't think it's a hydro. From what I read, it's got clutches. You have a go pedal, a brake pedal, and a reverse pedal. You have 6 speeds, which is reverse and forward, which is kind of cool. But the main reason I was after this thing is because it's got a 16 horsepower V-twin Vanguard. I had to do a little monkeying around. I replaced the fuel lines, put a temporary tank on it, cleaned out the carburetor. It's got some wiring gremlins. Let me see if I get it to start now. Maybe not. Sorry about that. But, it's a runner. It's got, if you can see that, maybe not, probably not. And it's got 646 hours on the clock. I adjusted the valves while I had everything apart. The electrical clutch doesn't work, and like I said, supposedly somebody put a new wiring harness in this thing. I don't really know. I bypassed the clutch just to check. It does work. The deck does spin. Everything's free. I just took it for a ride. It does go like it's supposed to. So I'm not really sure. I have the side panels for it and the air cleaner, everything in the house. I'm not really sure what I could get out of this thing if I fix it up some more. I don't know how deep I want to get into it either, but it's missing a headlight, which is like an $80 bill right there. Front tires are a little low, but again, I don't know how deep I want to get into this, so yeah, so that's kind of what I've been doing here. And I don't know, winter's going to be over at some point, and I only have one mower to sell, so I figured I had to take a chance and pick this up and see if it's worth doing anything. If not, I've got a good running 16 horsepower V-twin. And there's the Gilson, which is sitting here. I thought I had it solved. I had some guy jerking me around. He was a no-show. I called and spoke to him on the phone. And this is the other Simplicity I have. And like I said, winter just has not been very lucrative. So it's 63 degrees here today, so I figured I'd come out here and monkey with that a little bit and clean things up. And I guess some people were asking about this. It's the same drive-on lift that Musty One has. It's a handy airlift, air-over hydraulic. Mine's rated at 1,500 pounds. I got this from a guy who used to have a shop who fixed mowers, and he built the ramp and added the sides because he didn't have the sides for it originally. So the sides are made out of expanded steel. There's black pipe going across supporting them. There's angle iron supports and square tube. I put an angle iron stop at the top so that way you don't drive off the damn thing. But it's one of the best things I could buy because I can put, depending on the size of the snow blowers, I can put 2 of them on here side by side, sometimes 3, it all depends. So it's kind of nice in that respect. But, you know, to drive that thing on there and put it up in the air and be able to work at a decent height instead of laying on the ground, you know, it makes my life a lot easier. So if you don't have one, I know a lot of guys are on a budget and using the Harbor Freight one, and I was going to buy the Harbor Freight one initially, but for $300, and then it's not air or hydraulic, and then by the time you get doing that, then you still have to add the sides, and I found this, and I didn't, the guy wouldn't go a dime less than 500. I tried 4, he wouldn't budge. I just saw one for sale right now on Facebook for $500. So I think these things were like $2,000 new or something maybe. So they hold their value quite a bit. But, you know, I didn't want to monkey around with all that crap. I did do a bunch of repair work to this when I got it because these sides were welded on. Excuse me. And I wanted them removable just in case. So I did cut all that off and modify some of the previous doings that he had. He had it set up for his business, you know, and it worked for him. He did a lot of zero turns, riding mowers, etc., etc. So, you know, it's one of those tools that definitely was worth buying because even if I just dicked around once in a while working on some of my own stuff, it would be a great thing to have. So, and yeah, not a lot's changed around here. I've been still picking at the 102 Cub Cadet when I get a chance. Like I said, it's just been so damn miserable. If it's not snowing, we had like 2 weeks of like below 0 temperatures at night and like, you know, single digits during the day. And I'm just running the heat and it's just costing me too much damn money to be out here. And not to mention it takes about an hour to get this place warmed up before I could even think about doing anything. And there's nothing worse than going in your toolbox and grabbing some tools and they're like frozen and they almost want to stick to your hand. So I just said to hell with it. So I've been just laying low and, you know, playing around, doing other things. I've been working on the lathe a little bit and trying to organize my mess in the basement a little bit. But, you know, when the weather sucks, it kind of just sucks the life out of me, so to speak. So, and the Cushman's still sitting here. That's kind of been put on the back burner again. I really have too many things to do, but I didn't need to buy this. I really didn't need it. But I figured I would take a chance. And I need to go and finish assessing what it needs. I got to pull the pan off with a seat and the whole front fenders. The fenders and all that crap's got to come off because the gas tank's in the back and the fuel line is rotted. And so I need to replace all that. And while that's off, I want to look at everything underneath there and power wash everything, clean it up, and see what's what. I'm waiting for the shop manual. I ordered one off eBay. Only because I am not familiar with this machine at all, and with the electrical between the between the safeties with the everything for the safeties goes through the clutch switch, the seat switch, the brake pedal. It's a whole nightmare of things. And then ground. They use ground. I've never seen a fuse on a ground side, but there is a fuse on the ground side. Excuse me, going to the switch for the clutch, the PTO, and I'm assuming that that's there in case of a back feed, so it pops a fuse. I don't really know. It's kind of weird, but so I gotta wait for that to come, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. I'll make a list and I'll look and see, because I don't want to be into this thing, for like $300 to make $500. So I don't even know. I think this thing was like $3,000 new. I have to go back on Tractor Data and look it up, but it wasn't cheap. And so I just figured if it's worth putting back together, and I don't, have to. I mean, I don't want to put another 150 into it, but the way things are going, it looks like I'm going to have to. So I'm going to put 300 and make 200 if I'm lucky. So I don't know. It's it's one of those things. I know I can get more money in parts, but I'm not a fan of parting things out if it's something that can still be used and put back into service rather than scrapped, because scrap metal, we all know, doesn't pay shit. Pardon my French, but 4 cents a pound ain't making anybody rich. So anyhow, that's pretty much it. I stripped another old crappy rusty snapper snowblower. I got the engine there, 8 horse. So I gotta put some of this stuff somewhere else. I don't know. Everybody's seen my engine collection up here. Mostly snowblower engines, and then there's the stuff that I have in the house. So I got that little Briggs. I think it's a 2 horse. But anyhow, so that's kind of about it. It's been a little, like I said, uneventful for winter around here. So I guess that'll be about it. So when I decide what I'm doing with this thing and get a little further along, I'll let everybody know. And if anybody's interested in tractors, especially Sears tractors, you need to go check out my friend's channel. It's a new channel. It's Katara's Customs. K as in for Katara, and then C as in Customs. He's a good guy. He's a Sears Suburban guy. Belongs to the Sears Suburban Tractor Club. They go out to the plow day up in Pennsylvania if anybody does that stuff. I know a couple of guys like Harvey Spooner's always giving me shout outs. George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man. I do appreciate it. Steve Robb, he thinks I'm in Alabama, but I'm not. Trust me, I mean, this doesn't look like Alabama to me. This is New Jersey. So on that note, everybody take care. Thanks for watching, comment, and like, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.